Let's talk about the Loch Ness Monster. Now, recently, a local skipper up there in that Scottish loch, very deep, very big, a guy called Shaun Sloggie, noticed on his sonar an extraordinary image. He said it was like the biggest thing he's ever seen, and experts have looked at it since and said it actually has got the kind of a shape of a plesiosaurus. So it's not an actual picture, but sonar-wise, it's about as clear as it gets. Now, the plesiosaurus is an extinct dinosaur that some theorists say could be, you know, what the Loch Ness Monster is, a kind of surviving dinosaur. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk to Shaun first, and we're also going to talk to Willie Cameron. He's called Mr. Loch Ness, and he's a big expert on looking for the monster. But first, let's talk to local skipper Shaun Sloggie. Hello, Shaun. Is Shaun there? Hello, Shaun. Are you there? Should we go to Willie? All right. Well, what we're trying to make a link with Shaun as soon as we can. He's the boat skipper who saw this image. Let's talk to Willie Cameron. He's called Mr. Loch Ness, founding director of marketing for Visit Loch Ness and the Cobbs Group. Welcome, Willie. What do you make of this sonar sighting by Shaun?
Kevin, good evening to you and your audience. Yeah, very, very, very interesting indeed. It's most unusual image that has come up on the sonar of the Cruise Loch Ness boat at the western end of Loch Ness. This is not the first time that sonar readings have come up as far as Loch Ness is concerned relative to something large and very, very unusual. Back in 87 in Operation Deep, 1987 Operation Deep Scan, picked up an unusual object, and I think Cruise Loch Ness a number of years ago also picked up something very, very large. Personally, I would like to know roughly what the size of it was. I really don't know what the size of this particular object is. I know it was recorded about 98 metres down, but Loch Ness, as you say, is very, very deep, in excess of 800 feet. It's 24 miles long, mile and a half wide. All the water of England and Wales wouldn't fill the hole when it was emptied out. So it's a huge, huge, huge space. And at the end of the day, Kevin, we are only mere mortals. Who are we to say that there is nothing there?
No, absolutely. It's a mystery for a reason. Most mysteries have a reason, and maybe this could be it. I think Shaun is now ready. Shaun Sloggie, the skipper who took this image. Are you there, Shaun?
I certainly am, my friend. Thanks for having me.
Great, got you on now. So you sail the Loch Ness. You take cruises there. So you look at this sonar, and I've got a quote here from you saying it's the biggest thing. Willie was just asking how big it was. You said that according to the sonar image, it might just be one of the biggest things you've ever seen. What kind of size would we be talking about?
Well, I'll put my hands up and say I'm not a sonar expert, but been on the loch for about 9 years. We've got Ray Marine sonar, which was fitted to the Spirit of Loch Ness in 2020. And we picked up a large contact which made international news, and that was using a range of 300 metres. And we estimated that to be, well, Ray Marine actually estimated to be 8 to 10 metres long and almost a metre wide, down at a depth of about 180 metres. Since then, I've managed to screenshot some other contacts using another range of 200 metres. So most of the ones we get, they look like the kind of a croissant kind of shape. That's the air and the swim bladder of a creature telling you it's there, telling you it's alive. So some of the ones I've seen normally in a day would be like maybe 2-3 metres in length. So they made speculations and DNA tests saying that this could be eels, large eels in the loch. So I've always kept my eye out on the sonar. I've seen similar contacts for maybe the last 2 years now. But that day, that's different. And I've actually sent some of these images online, and you can actually see the same range, the same scale. This is about 3 to 4 times the size and the width of it as well. But what spooks me out is the sheer quality of the shape of this creature. Ever since I was away and a wee boy, Nessie was this creature with the long neck, the tail, and the fins. I know the stories. It's growing arms, legs, a tail, and a set of bagpipes over the years. But the sonar's finding something down there. Yeah.
So
it's bonkers, you know.
So, Shaun, so that we can go back to Willie, how long do you estimate this possible?
I couldn't tell you. I'm not a sonar expert. But
no, but you said before you were talking about.
If I were to put a guess, if I were to put a guess out there, I would say it's about 5 to 6 meters long.
5 to 6 meters long, so that's like 30 feet.
That's the main body of it. But okay. I'll put my hands up. I'm not a sonar expert. I've actually sent the contact away to Ray Marine to get it analysed, and I'm waiting for further details. As you can imagine, it all happens so quickly, you know. Before
we go back to Willie, on sonar, I mean, you're not an expert on sonar. I'm even less of an expert. But can you see things move? Was it moving?
If you're stationary, if something moves under the boat, you'll get a trail of it. But the fact that we were moving, it's either gone straight underneath the boat to get that contact. It could be matching our speed. These are all the things you have to take into consideration. So this is why you need to get the experts to really have a real look at it.
Okay, well, let's go back to you, Willie. So I think we're talking about, in old money, about 30 feet long, potentially.
Yeah.
Do you subscribe to the possible theory that the monster could be a descendant of a plesiosaurus, because it had the right shape, didn't it? This sonar image.
I'm not totally convinced as far as it being something from the Jurassic period, but however, the size that Shaun has just said, if it was anything between 20 to 30 foot long, coincides exactly with a sighting in June the 15th, 1965, a sighting by 9 witnesses, 4 on the southern shore and 5 on the northern shore. And it was the longest sighting ever recorded. It was 50 minutes of an object rising in the water off Urquhart Castle, making its way with the wind, rotating as it went up the loch eastwards, and then it turned and went against the wind, which showed it had a power source, because the only way you go against the wind is either mechanical or animate. And the size reported by the 2 fishermen and the 2 people on the southern shore, and by a man called Ted Holiday on the northern shore, was between 20 and 30 foot long baseline, 5 to 6 feet out of the water, and going back down the way, whale-like, upturned boat-like, and the size that Shaun has just said, anything between 20 and 30 feet, would fit absolutely with this particular sighting of June the 15th, 1965. So
this seems very interesting, Willie. Willie, are you going to have a look at Shaun's sonar evidence?
I've had a look earlier on tonight at the evidence, and I saw it a couple of days ago. It is absolutely fascinating, very, very interesting indeed. And believe you me, Kevin, the truth is out there.
I'll tell you what, thanks, Willie, that was great. Shaun, if this turns out to be the Loch Ness Monster, mate, you're going to turn into one of the most famous men on the face of the planet. If you're the one who found the Loch Ness Monster, man, you're going to be famous.
I think many people have found it. It's proving what it is. I think that's where the real mystery really is. It's bamboozled me for years. Ever since I was a kid, I wanted to know what it is. But with me, the sonar, you know, if you take away the Nessie story, that sonar's just picked up something and it's there. You know, the sonar's not done whiskey distillery tours before it gets on the boat. It hasn't had the history. It doesn't know the stories. So it's overwhelming, you know. We've managed to conquer the land, the sky. What we do not know anything about really is what lies in these waters on this planet.
Absolutely. And you're convinced there's something down there?
Oh, there's too much evidence. You couldn't prove the negative. The only way to prove the positive would be to capture this creature or creatures that are in the loch. But my personal opinion, if they did catch the creature, the mystery would become history, you know? Yeah. I would have no job, you see?
Listen, Shaun, great talking to you. Willie, you're obviously convinced there's something down there. And I think Shaun's got a point. I mean, in your heart of hearts, would you like it to remain a mystery, or would you like it to be found?
I think, Kevin, in this modern day and age of artificial intelligence, if AI comes up tomorrow with 100 reasons why there is nothing in Loch Ness, believe you me, the world population, 50%, that would say there is something in Loch Ness. So as far as Shaun and I are concerned, it's a win-win situation, whatever the hell happens.
Yeah, well, I hope there's a monster down there. And great to talk to you, Willie, and great to talk to you, Shaun. All the best.